My name is Tony Litt. I'm the MD of Sunrise Radio, and it's my immense pleasure to bring you the official Sunrise Radio podcast. We are the #1 commercial Asian station in the United Kingdom, with many firsts to our name, and we continue to be the voice of British Asians who have given us their love and loyalty over 30 years. It's a legacy we cherish and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Our aim has always been to entertain the listeners with the best of Bollywood and Bhangra, while also addressing their concerns. A real voice for the community, a vibrant community, and a great nation. We are proud to be British and Asian. This podcast is a compilation of some of the things we do on the station, with a stellar lineup of presenters who each have their own personality and style. It's entertaining, informative, engaging, and we hope you will enjoy it here as a podcast if you are unable to tune in to the radio. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your family and friends about this podcast, and do leave us a comment on what you think. We'd love to hear from you. All the best always. Team Sunrise.
The UK's biggest station mix. Sunrise Radio.
It's the breakfast show on Sunrise Radio. Raj Ghai is the name. 90-second challenge. We play it every single morning, Monday to Friday. Are you ready? Let's play the 90-second challenge. Let's say hello to Heather in Bromley. Heather, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm very good, my friend. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks.
Brilliant.
Really excited.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm very excited as well. I want to see if you can beat that score of 6. How's your general knowledge? Are you any good?
Okay, I'm better at Bollywood.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, I'll
All
try
right.
my best.
Let's see if there's any Bollywood questions. Oh, actually, the first question is a bit of Bollywood, so that's good. Okay, let's play the 90-second challenge.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 1. Who plays the male lead in the 1973 film Bobby?
Rishi Kapoor,
Yeah, what is the hard white material that elephants' tusks are made out of?
teeth,
No, it's ivory.
elephant teeth.
What?
Ivory, okay, yeah.
601 minus 302 is what?
299,
Well done. In which country would you find the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Italy,
Well done. Who played the lead female role opposite Shahid Kapoor in the 2000 film Jab We Met?
Kanika Kapoor,
Yeah, in the nursery rhyme, what were Jack and Jill going up the hill to fetch?
a pail of water,
Yeah, which actor was known as the angry young man?
Amitabh Bachchan,
Yeah, what is the currency of New Zealand?
pass,
It's $1. Which year came 17 years after 1981?
17 years,
Yep.
pass,
1998. Which actress played the role of Samaya Siddiqui, a human rights lawyer in the film Veer Zara?
Aishwarya Rai Bachchan,
No, Rani Mukherjee. What is the name of the fairy in Peter Pan?
pass,
Tinkerbell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6. You got 6. We have a tie-break situation. The rules are that I ask you the next question. If you get it right, you get an extra point, giving you 7 in total, right? That means that you will take the lead. If you get it wrong, you will lose a point, meaning that Pritesh and Lester will be jumping up and down for joy. All right? It's as simple as that. Here is the next question. Who currently presents the Drive Time show on Sunrise Radio?
Raj Ghai,
No, it's Sonia Datta. Oh no, you lose a point. That means you end up with 5. Oh my gosh, am I so close, but yet so far. Pritesh and Lester is going, yippee! Never mind, my friend, never mind. Thank you so much for taking part in the 90-second challenge.
You can catch Raj Ghai and his funny humour weekdays on breakfast between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m.
The UK's biggest station mix. Sunrise Radio.
Hey, my name is Shabnam Sahi. Welcome to the official Sunrise Radio podcast. I'm on your radio weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. If you've heard the show, you know what to expect from it. But here are some exciting, interesting Bollywood stories that you may have missed. This time round, served up as part of our official Sunrise Radio podcast. Enjoy. Now, as India celebrates Ganatantra Divas, the day India formally adopted its constitution 3 years after gaining independence in 1947, that's what this day marks. Let's start by looking at some winners of the prestigious Padma Awards, the highest civilian honours given out on this day annually for exceptional and distinguished services across a whole range of professions and services. Now, the Padma Vibhushan is the highest, then comes the Padma Bhushan, and finally the Padma Shri. Looking at the arts, we've got 3 prominent names from films and playback singing. Actor Victor Banerjee was awarded the Padma Bhushan for his services to arts and cinema. The veteran actor appeared in Hindi, Bengali and English language films for close to 4 decades, winning the National Award for Ghore Baire. He is one of the few Indian actors to have been nominated for the prestigious BAFTA Awards as well. A nod he earned for his performance in David Lean's A Passage to India, which is from 1984. Then you've got Sonu Nigam. One of the recipients of Padma Shri this year is one of the leading singers of his generation. After making his foray with stage shows in early 1990s, Sonu made it big with playback singing in Hindi, and this was towards the latter part of the decade. And he sung over 5,000 songs in various Indian languages, winning 1 national award in the process as well. Naturally, Sonu Nigam ki jitni tareef ki jaye kam hai, and absolutely the award comes at the right time, I think, in his career. Last but not least, Chandra Prakash Dwivedi, Dr. Chandra Prakash Dwivedi. He is a recipient of the Padma Shri this year, a writer, director best known for creating the 1991 TV series Chanakya. Then in 2003, the national award-winning film Pinjar. Kaun bhul sakta hai ise? The filmmaker has also directed the film Mohalla 80 and the TV shows Mrityunjay, Upanishad Ganga and Surajya Sanhita. Chandra Prakash Dwivedi is directing the upcoming Akshay Kumar historical epic Prithviraj, which also marks the debut of a Miss World, Manushi Chillar. Congratulations to all these people. Looking at Shakun Batra's relationship drama Gehraiyan. This puts a 21st century filter on friendships, relationships, marriage, infidelity, and a lot more. And this by no means is a new topic of conversation in Hindi films. Even if we only consider films from the last 15-20 saal, how the topic is handled, what the backstory of each character reveals, that has always determined the fate of a relationship drama at the Bollywood box office, right? Now, when we look at the past, we've got a David Dhawan film like Biwi Number 1. Salman Khan, Karishma Kapoor, Sushmita Sen locked in a somewhat awkward dynamic. Then we've got films like Malika Sherawat, Imran Hashmi and Ashmit Patel in Murder. This is the remake of an American film, Unfaithful, that shows the frustration of a wife trapped in a loveless marriage. Anurag Basu's Life in a Metro ko dekh lijiye. It is a pick and mix of stories and scenarios in modern times, so how could this not talk about an extramarital affair, right? And from the most recent crop of films, you have Taapsee Pannu, Vikrant Massey and Harshvardhan Rane's Haseen Dilruba. Laced with dark humor and frankly a rather bizarre conclusion, I thought. लेकिन आप इस genre की बात करें और आप इन जनाब का नाम चेक ना करें, ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता. I'm talking about the king of gloss, Karan Johar. He roped in the biggest stars in Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna. And he asked right at the start of the film, what if you found the love of your life after you got married? And defending the loose morals that clearly irked many at the time, Karan Johar said, look, I'm not promoting adultery. I'm just holding up a mirror to what really happens in society. In what manner will Gehraiyan add to this canon? Ye to waqt hi batayega. Last year, when we hadn't yet gauged just how far-reaching the consequences of COVID would be, when the box office was still buzzing about a potential clash between Ajay Devgan and Ajay Devgan. You remember that? Because RRR and Maidan were expected to release on the same weekend. I remember there was a lot of bad blood at the time between Boni Kapoor and S.S. Rajamouli. Who knew that the clash wasn't meant to be? Because COVID had other plans, and that both films will now consider themselves lucky to get a full theatrical release and recover their money. While a lot has been said and written about RRR, let's look at Maidan for a moment. Because if even this film is due for release very soon, I believe. Boni Kapoor is the producer. He casts Ajay Devgan as Saeed Abdul Rahim, India's first football coach, who led the national side to international glory between 1952 and 1962. South actress Priya Mani, who rose to prominence in The Family Man. She plays Ajay Devgan's wife in Maidan. Acting as his dil and his jaan, his inspiration and his conscience keeper, the support system and that pillar of unconditional unconditional love we all need to make it through tough times and conquer our dreams. आपकी जिंदगी में वो शख्स कौन है? Don't forget to thank them every now and then. Back in the day, there was a time when, at least in India, we were encouraged to learn poems off by heart. Did that happen here as well? I'm sure it did. If you grew up in this country, I don't know, you might have learned poems like The Charge of the Light Brigade or The Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, something like that, right? But this was one of the first poems that you're asked to recite in class. And this has about 21 verses. The poem on the Queen of Jhansi, Subhadra Kumari Chauhan ka likha hua. और मुझे आज तक याद है, पूरे 21 वर्सेस तो याद नहीं है, लेकिन 3-4 वर्सेस मुझे अभी तक याद है और मैं आपको पहला वर्स सुनाना चाहती हूँ. And I promise you I've not written it down anywhere. I'm completely reciting it off by heart because it was one of those things which painted the life story of this Queen of Jhansi, who came into prominence during the revolt of 1857, which is also seen by many historians as India's first cry for freedom. And if you remember this, if you know this, if you ever learned it, if you're aware of it, send me a little emoji on WhatsApp, okay? 07925 700 272. It starts with, सिंहासन हिल उठे, राजवंशों ने भ्रुकुटी तानी थी, बूढ़े भारत में भी आई फिर से नई जवानी थी, गुमी हुई आजादी की कीमत सबने पहचानी थी, दूर फिरंगी को करने की सबने मन में ठानी थी, चमक उठी सन 57 में वो तलवार पुरानी थी, बूंदे ले हर बोलों के मुंह हमने सुनी कहानी थी, खूब लड़ी मर्दानी वो तो झांसी वाली रानी थी. है कोई मेरी तरह जिसने ये कभी पढ़ा हो, याद किया हो, जिसे याद हो? I'm sure there are many people. 07925 700 272 is the number to WhatsApp me on. And despite all the misgivings I might have about Kangana Ranaut, the person, I thought Kangana played the Queen of Jhansi brilliantly in the film Manikarnika. Okay, so I think I may have accidentally solved one of the biggest queries plaguing Indian cricket right now. Why did Virat Kohli resign his captaincy when he's still at the peak of his game, in top form? Well, मुझे लगता है maybe, just maybe, Virat wishes to take a back seat and allow his beautiful wife to make all the millions for the family. It has just been revealed that Anushka Sharma and her brother Karnesh Sharma's production house, Clean Slate Films, they have signed a deal with Netflix and with Amazon Prime, separately of course, but it is collectively worth just over 400 crores. And this is for fresh, exciting, cutting-edge content that they hope to stream on these two global platforms over the next year and a half. Now, this includes Anushka's film, a biopic on cricketer Jhulan Goswami titled Chakra Express, which is a Netflix original. And it also includes other films and dramas. They will be announced in due course. Now, their previous productions include NH10, Filori, Pari, and the two conversation starters from recent years, Bulbul on Netflix and Patal Lok on Prime. Anushka was one of the first actresses who said, look, when I started this production house, I realized very soon that to be able to impress my audience with a good story, with a good drama, we need to nurture our writers first. अरे actors और location और budget और production और कपड़े और बालों का रंग वो सब तो बाद में आता है. Get a good story together on paper first. Nurture your actors, nurture your writers. Give them the right environment. Give them the freedom to experiment with storylines. That is how you end up with content that everyone is drawn to immediately. 10 years into his career, Ranveer Singh has already reached that enviable position where Deepika is his wife. He already has the ultimate prize. Of course, that's not what I mean. 10 years into the job, Ranveer already has all the trappings of success. Aaj mere paas gaadi hai, bangla hai, daulat hai, shaurat hai, maa bhi hai. All he wishes to do now is attempt what's not been done yet. Because now this fight is completely internal. That's what he says. It's about staying hungry, staying committed, staying focused. When he could easily retire tomorrow and buy that villa on Lake Como where he got married to Deepika, right? What keeps him coming back for more challenges of the Bollywood variety? Speaking his heart to a national daily in India, Ranveer Singh recently said, Right now, I'm becoming obsessed with my craft. I want to play more with it. I want to explore more. So yes, right now it's a burning, blazing inferno, wanting to do more and see what the possibilities are. That is what I'm interested in. He says there was a very dear, very respected and admired colleague of mine who, after watching me in 83, pointed out that if you analyze things, there is no reference to you actually, he told me. A mainstream leading man in Hindi cinema doesn't really go this distinctly into different characters. And then you have this off-screen persona as well. इसकी भी पहले कोई मिसाल मेरे पास नहीं है. That's what his friend told him. So Ranveer says कि मुझे लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं पे मैं जो भी कर रहा हूँ ठीक कर रहा हूँ. He says I have evolved as a person in the last 10 years. Initially I was extremely cocky. I used to think I know everything, I'm invincible. But now, over a period of time, as I started doing more work, started collaborating with people like Mr. Sanjay Leela Bansali, they completely break you down. They'll completely decimate these constructs that you've made for yourself, thinking that, there are boundaries to acting. It is only after gaining a certain amount of experience that I realized that performance art, craft of acting, it is completely limitless, it is completely infinite. As long as you're willing to be completely true to your own self, completely unself-conscious about log kya kahenge agar main ye karunga. As long as you're willing to go the distance and become that person, shameless person, he says, Bollywood glory in due course will be yours. Actress Raveena Tandon, she's getting hyped and excited all over again for the release of KGF 2, Kolar Goldfields 2, hopefully in the foreseeable future. Raveena plays a formidable politician in the film, and she says, essaying the imperfections, those shades of grey in her screen persona. That was so much fun. It is so liberating as an actor, because that is what adds a touch of realism to your story. Heroines in the past were predominantly seen as beautiful plastic dolls. That's what she says. But the changing times now permit lead characters, male and female, to have a bit of depth and conflict and shades to their personality. Kyunki isi ka naam zindagi hai, right? No one is perfect. We are all flawed, yet we can be equally fabulous when we wish to be. Our upbringing, our circumstances make us who we are. Now, it's okay to play a multi-shaded politician in KGF 2, but will Raveena Tandon ever consider politics in real life? She was asked this question. And she said that, look, never say never. There was a point I was seriously contemplating politics. I've been offered seats pan-India, from West Bengal, from Punjab, from Mumbai, but unfortunately, I had to say no at the time because to a certain extent, I was not ready. I've not really been impressed with any political party to such an extent that I have an ideology that I can blindly follow. I disagree with so many things. Sometimes I'm afraid because of these disagreements, I might not be able to toe the line. And if I don't toe the line, I would probably be silenced. Not in a sinister way, of course, she says. But if I feel I'm ready to bear the brunt of this and go out there and really make a difference, I might just say yes. Now, much as I don't wish to talk about Allu Arjun's Pushpa The Rise, at least एक दिन तो पुष्पा को अकेले छोड़ दो यार. लेकिन ये मुमकिन नहीं है. पता है आज की तारीख में ना मुमकिन नहीं है. Every website, every news portal, every gossip column has something on Pushpa every single day. How can we ignore it and look the other way, right? So people in high places, those with all the inside info in Mumbai, absolutely convinced that actress Samantha Ruth Prabhu, who audiences loved in The Family Man 2, they absolutely adored in that item number in Pushpa, the Ooh Antava song. After the roaring success of that song, I mean, forget about the film. People are absolutely crazy about the song. Sunne mein aaya hai ki another big budget North-South collaboration in the making. Vijay Deverakonda and Ananya Pandey's Liger. They hope to get Samantha Ruth Prabhu to do an item number for their film. Just to be on the safe side. In case the rest of the film collapses like a badly baked flan, at least the item sum could save the day, right? Ho sakta hai aisa.
You can catch Shabnam Sahi, the ultimate storyteller, weekdays 9 a.m. till 12 noon.
Hi, this is Anushka Arora. As always, lovely to have your company for the Sunrise Radio podcast. And this week, I have another special guest on the show. Here we are, joined by Kanika Kapoor. Welcome to Sunrise. How are you doing?
I am so well. Thank you for having me here.
No, thank you for coming to the studio. It's so nice to have you in the studio, face to face, in person. I mean, it's been so long. Tell me, how's everything been for you over the last, let's say, 2 years?
It's been a roller coaster, but the ride has been really fun. And I'm so happy to be back here. I can't even tell you. It's almost like I feel like I've come back home, and I think I've spent years and years and years listening to Sunrise Radio.
Yeah.
Even before I started doing music professionally. So I almost feel like it's something that I know so well, and all the voices, all of you, it's
How
it's a
sweet.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
That's really, really nice. Now, Kanika, let's talk about your very recently released song, Pushpa. The film itself has created such a massive, earthquake. Let's put it. And then you've got the song that you've done as well, Oo Bolega. Tell me, firstly, how did that song come to you?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about Pushpa. I think it's. I think the performances, everyone's just outdone themselves. The music, the whole album is insane. The whole album is recorded. Each song is recorded in 5 different languages.
Wow.
And to be able to work with DSP was such a pleasure. We've been meaning to work for the last 5 years. I think this 5 number is quite good. So he just invited me to come in and try out the song, and he said, I know that you can nail it. And I literally went a month before the song came out, and we did the vocals. We started at 4 in the evening, and we finished at 6 a.m.
Wow.
And
my God.
so from learning and doing the song, and it just happened. I mean, I did not think that this song is going to go so mental and take over all the charts. And I personally even love the Telugu version a lot, and in fact, so he made me listen to the Telugu version
First,
and he said, this is what we are doing and this is the feel. So I think I was inspired by that, and I recorded it.
I think this song is quite different from what you've done. I think it's different in the sense that your style, it's like, it does sound like you, but it doesn't, if you know what I mean. So, I mean, what was a brief that DSP had given you with this song? Because, it's very different to what, your music library says.
So I'll tell you. So he said to me, so I started singing, Oo bolega, oo bolega sala. And he's like, nay, we don't want the voice. Just use your breath and sing. I said, sir, how will I use my breath and have expressions, So he's like, no, just do, oo bolega, oo bolega sala. So it was literally like, I could not use my voice and my full throat because he did not want me to.
Wow.
So the song is sung literally on the breath.
My God.
And we've used... So it was very hard to do it on the beat. But he really thought that ghisi awaz might really suit the song.
Which it really does. I think it's got a really good package to it. I mean, let's talk about the lyrics.
Oh no.
What do you think about the lyrics? I mean, like this, look, it's very sensual. It's very harsh. I mean, what is your opinion on it?
Okay, so when I heard the Telugu version, I told him he needs to explain the song and the whole brief behind it, and then the whole story behind why we are doing this song and what it means. And when he told me, line by line, he explained the meaning of the song, and I was like, okay.
Exactly.
So he said, yeah, but we always do songs on women and about their body and their shape and their lips and everything. So, and sometimes we're even looking down upon in certain ways. And he's like, in fact, you've done so many songs like that. And I said, yes. So he said, why not have a little bit of banter on men? So I said, this is not exactly banter. We are really like going all out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's almost like we are saying a man is a piece of this and that and this and that. We just, So he said, no, I mean, it's like an item number, but it's on a man instead of a woman. And I actually agree with it. And I said in one of my interviews that, yeah, I mean, we don't really, none of us shy away from listening to and singing every item song on a woman's body and her hips and her boobs and her lips and her eyes and, and how sultry she is. So it's okay. Sometimes we can sing a song on a man too.
I mean,
that he looks at you and he's staring at you and he is an awe and so many other things.
And what kind of response have you gotten, especially from men? I mean, what
Honestly,
have they said?
Some men from my family have just messaged me that, sorry, but we don't like the lyrics and we don't like... Because of the lyrics, I think they've not really loved the song.
Yeah.
And they've been very honest about it. And then there are other people who just love the song on the whole. They love the beat and they love... they're not listening to the lyrics exactly. They're just...
It's more the
they
music.
like the vibe of the song,
Yeah.
And it's crazy that it's playing on repeat.
Yeah.
And not just... family, but I have kids of my friends who are young teenagers, in London, in the UK, who don't understand the song, but they are vibing and they're loving the song. It's playing in the clubs and it's playing in university gigs, in the Indian societies. So, because I'm being tagged onto all these posts, it makes me feel really happy. It's almost what happened with Chittiyan Kalaiyan and Baby Doll and Jugni. Has just repeated.
Well, I'm glad. I'm happy for you that it has.
Touchwood, I'm really excited.
Okay.
And I'm very honored to be a part of this movie, actually.
I mean, it's huge. Kanika, I think let's talk about, many of your previous songs. I mean, you have a beautiful library of songs.
Thank you.
What would you say has been like a major career highlight for you?
Major career highlight. I think each song has brought in its own charm and its own love. It's really funny that different songs have, gone to different pockets and have, been loved by, like some people just would be like, Samajh mein nahi aaya, I didn't understand that song. And some people are obsessed with the song. There was a song called Thade Rahiyo, which has become crazy on the reels. I think we've come close to more than 500,000 reels on Instagram.
Wow.
And it took off 3 years later, So you don't know kaun sa gana, kab chalega.
Exactly.
And highlight of my career, I mean, it's very hard to say, but obviously I think it was maybe Baby Doll, Chittiyan Kalaiyan, Lovely, Desi Look, Nacha Farate, all in one go together. I think it was just like a bomb blast.
But it literally was, I think, it definitely was. You've worked with so many music composers, directors, arrangers. I mean, who have you not worked with as of yet that you would just absolutely love to work with?
I think there are a few that I haven't been able to work with, and we are hoping to work together soon. I mean, to be fair, I have worked with most of them.
Yes.
I've also got a chance recently to record with, I had the chance to record with A.R. Rahman. And so I'm sure that a lot of new things that I've done are going to come out this year. I think this is a very big year for me in terms of different kind of music.
Okay.
And stuff that I love. From semi-classical to unplugged to some old school stuff to... starting from Pushpa. Oo bolega aya, oo bolega sala.
You just mentioned Unplugged. There is nothing more that we love on this show than Unplugged. I mean, you've done Coke Studio as well. Would you give us a line of an unplugged version of any of your songs?
I don't want to, because when you hear it, you will love it. Because Unplugged in Punjabi,
oh my God.
And it's in a different style.
Oh, wow.
So, you'll hear some really in good stuff, because what I felt is there was not much music out there that I like to listen to.
Right.
And I love to listen to just unplugged, clean, raw voice. Otherwise everything is so pitched and everything is so, there's so many filters on the voices, which, I don't know. It doesn't really... I got this from, when I did Dada Dasse in Urta Punjab.
Gorgeous song.
I think Amit Trivedi really, really kept it very raw and just clean. He did not really make it pitch perfect, or he just wanted an expression and something very real. And he kept this bit also in the background score of the movie. And that was my brief then. So, and someone, including yourself, had said to me that you love it.
That is,
because I think you relate to it so much more. It's very real.
This is it. And I was just saying to Kanika off air that Dada Dasse is probably one of my most favourite songs of yours. So if you're going to give us more songs like that, please do. I cannot wait for it.
No, I'm trying. It's sometimes you don't know. It's very difficult to get the balance of singing for a movie. You have to sing what you are asked to sing.
Absolutely.
And there is not enough time always to do what you love. But I think because of COVID, we've had time, we took time out to really understand what is it that we are doing and what are we singing for. Otherwise you're just running all the time. So I think COVID has made me, given me more time to do more riyaz, to really see what I love, to listen to and give it to the audience.
Oh, that sounds
Because every
lovely.
time I've done a concert anywhere in the world, when the concert is all about music and beat, yes, it's really nice and fun, but I think every time I've done an unplugged of any old song or a mashup of unplugged in a concert, people just are just watching me so much more, and they love it. I've seen people cry. I think you touch people with that expression more than a movie song.
Absolutely.
So,
No, for sure. I completely agree with you on that. I think it's really important for me to ask you, Kanika, I mean, what is your take on the music industry as to where it stands today? Because, we have seen so many changes over the years.
Yeah. I think more than over the years, I would say it's COVID. That has really, the two things that have changed the music industry, at least in India, and for Indian music, for the Indian artists, is firstly the masses have smartphones and they're streaming music, which is a huge game changer, and they're on social media. So having 3G and 4G in the country has really helped in bringing everyone and giving them an opportunity to showcase their talent. And there's a lot of talent in our country. And even in the UK with our Asian community, there's a huge amount of talent here. And I think COVID, sitting at home, people realize that everyone's equal, and, there are people who've come out with stuff, online, and it's become huge. So I think it's given an opportunity. And a sense of confidence. Even to me, it's given me confidence, even though I'm an established artist. It's given me confidence to take out music that I love and I want to sing, and the fact that I can just post it on my Instagram or YouTube channel, and if people love it, it'll go places.
Yeah, of course.
So it has changed a lot, and I think it's changed for good. Especially in India, people are getting more royalties. The whole PRS is amazing. The whole publishing in the country is more getting more balanced. And like I said, people are getting to showcase their talent, which is amazing.
For sure.
I wish I could. It's a big shout out for at least my fellow friends in the UK, and I would love to collaborate with some newcomers and have an opportunity, because I think they have some insane music.
Yeah, I agree. No, definitely. Kanika, you perform worldwide. You've been on multiple magazine covers, and I'm pretty sure you get asked this question a lot. Would you ever consider acting?
I've been, for years and years, I've been offered lots of roles in Bombay, especially when I'm there. And the only reason I did not take up acting is because it's very difficult to do everything. I mean, if you're a singer, you don't get enough time to even do riyaz, because you're so running from one place to another. And that's something that I'm very conscious of, because at the end of the day, I need to sing well. If I'm in a concert, I don't want people to come and think that I'm just playing a tape on and singing.
Yeah.
I need to sing.
Yeah.
And to be able to sing, you have to practice a lot
course.
and sleep and take care of your voice. So I decided that I would not get into acting unless there's something that's really, really extraordinary. And also, I mean, I have 3 kids. I have a full life. I'm a mother. It's very difficult to live between London and India. I'm up
sure.
and down every month.
Yeah.
My children live in London and study here. So there's a lot on my plate, you know. And so, I mean, I don't know. I never say never.
Yeah.
But that is the reason I haven't taken up acting, because there's too much already on the plate.
Well, let me tell you, you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
You're doing absolutely amazing, Kanika. Finally, we're just going to wrap it up with a quick message to your fans who are listening to you right now on Sunrise.
Well, guys, thank you so much for loving my music and for, always streaming my music, and please always message me. I do read comments on Instagram. Please follow me and tell me what is it that you love and what is it that you don't love. I'm sure there's a lot that you sort of dislike also. And I'm absolutely open to criticism, because it's the only way I would learn. And I hope that I can do better and give you better music.
How lovely. Kanika, thank you so much for coming into the studio, and we really, really look forward to everything that you've got coming up.
Thank you. This year we have a lot of music. Every month there's a music release. And I think hopefully this year we would be in the UK also for a big concert, like a UK tour. So we're prepping for that.
That sounds really good. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Kanika. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
No worries.
Listen to our Bollywood queen, Anushka Arora, from 12 noon to 4 p.m. weekdays on Sunrise.
The Bhangra Showdown with Ameet Chana.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome on Sunrise Radio the one and only, the music man, Sukshinder Shinda. Welcome, buddy.
Thank you, Amit. I hope you're all well, and the Sunrise Radio listeners worldwide, I hope they're having a great evening.
We're all fabulous. Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to have you on air with us. Gee, I know it's been a long time since we've caught up. Beleta, we used to speak on my previous job on another radio station, and then via Shadianta, and of course at weddings and shows we used to bump into each other. But those have got less and less in terms of the fact that we've been in a pandemic. How has the last 2 years been for you, first of all?
Yeah, you have to just get on with it, so it is what it is, but I try to make the most of the time, with the family, and usually I'm travelling a lot, but this time it was just at home.
So you got to spend some good time with the family, I guess,
Yeah.
and you were making some wonderful sort of homemade videos of you kind of doing your riyaz and sharing some songs that mean something to you that weren't your own necessarily. That was quite entertaining for us.
A lot of people, especially the youngsters, they loved, especially singing with the instruments, and it was good for me, as well, just practicing. And if people can get some inspiration, man, that's great, man, the youngsters,
It's true, and we were lucky to have glorious sunshine, so your backdrop was wonderful as well during those videos. Now, Shindapaji, like I said, it's been a long time that I've spoken to you, and I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, because you are, I don't know if you heard the show a little bit later on, you are the king of collaborations. In fact, you have a series of albums called Collaborations, of which you've had international superstars collaborate with you. Gurdas Maan, Abrarul Haq, Diljit Dosanjh, when he wasn't collaborating with anyone in those days other than True School, of course, at that time. And the list goes on. But very rarely, and on the odd occasion, you collaborate with other producers. That doesn't happen very often, right? I mean, I can literally count it on one hand. Maybe DJ Vix and Popsy Music, who we're going to talk about tonight as well. Very few producers get to actually produce your vocal.
Yeah, I ain't done much songs, because I do, when you do something yourself, man, you want it kind of perfect. I'm not saying they've done a great job. Popsy and DJ Vix is my brother, and Haj.
Yes,
Nagra from
Haj
Canada,
Nagra, of course, yeah.
So, I mean, it's all love, man. And some new guys coming on the block now, and I'll be doing some songs for them as well. But, I mean, when you do music yourself and you play the instruments, it ain't that easy just to, What can I say?
I know what you're saying, and this is what I want to get to, because look, ultimately, you are a master of many instruments and cross-cultural music. You fuse Bhangra and Punjabi with kind of double-time rapping in Punjabi that is now a phenomenon, but you were one of the first to do that. Is it difficult for you to lend your vocals to other people's music because you want it to be of a certain level and quality?
Yeah, that's the thing as well. But some people, they got the same kind of music like I do, but they want to do that, and I can do that myself, you know what I'm saying? But Popsy, he's been with me for many years, he plays with the band as well, and he's been in the group as well, so I love Popsy, and he's got he's developing his own style now, which is good,
Yeah. And he's had a couple of, recently he had a theme too with, that came out with Maraki as well. Again, what a great track as well on that.
Exactly.
I mean, I've known Popsy for a long time, and it's always good when you collaborate with him, because there's a definite synchronization of your vocal and his sound. I think it works together really well, and I'm excited.
Popsy, this song, he wanted to do a song with me for many years. He was saying that we want to do a song together, so I said, Popsy, okay, man, you get the song. So this song, Popsy composed this song, and
Wicked.
Got the lyrics guy and everything, and he did a great job,
And he has done a great job, and we'll come back to Brand in just a second, but let's talk about something that you did recently as well. You collaborated with arguably the new kid on the block with one of the finest folk vocals I've heard in years, Raf Sapira. How did that come about?
Well, this producer, and they was promoting him at that time, and Tony. And he came to me, and he said, because I didn't really hear much of Raf, and he played me. I said, you play me some stuff, and if I think, I can do something. So he played me some stuff, and I said, yeah, this guy, and then I met Raf, and I told him a few things, I said, man, listen, it's not about getting one hit song or two hit songs. That's nothing, man. Where you want to be in 10 years' time, where you want to be. So you have to put in the hours, I said to him, in thinking.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, if you want to do a 3-hour performance.
It's not.
And you got 5 songs, what are you going to do? You understand?
Yeah.
And you were singing people's songs and your cover version after your karaoke.
Yeah.
So I said, work on it, man, and he's got a good vocal, and he's a good lad, and I wish him all the best.
He is.
That song, because people ask me, Raf, what is he? I said he's a bit of jazzy beat, he's a bit Pinta Jat, means he's got a mix.
Yes.
He's got to find his own kind of way, and it takes time.
Definitely.
And obviously, if you got someone composing tunes for, like I was composing for Jazzy B for 13, 14 albums, it's very easy. The singer doesn't have to do that much work.
Yeah. It's true. And also,
done for him,
And what was great about Snake Charmer is that you took it back somewhere that hasn't happened for a while, because all the instruments were live on that track, right?
Live instruments, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why we missed that sound here in the UK. Shinda Paji, how do you feel about the fact that the UK Bhangra music sound seems to have disappeared, and the likes of kind of North America, I'm not just pinpointing people, but like AP Dillon, Gurinder Gill, we've got all these young cats doing amazing stuff around the world and changing Punjabi music, but the UK Bhangra sound seems to have diminished.
Yeah, like you said, this whole like trap music and what you want to call it, and hip hop. But we used to do that as well, and but they've taken it, they've kind of took it different level, which is good. AP Dillon, the lyrics change, the compositions, everything changes. But the UK, the sound, I'm telling you, man, not just from UK, incredible even now when you hear the songs, and even some songs coming out now.
It's true.
Especially the Bhangra songs, the UK sound, you cannot beat that, man, on the dance floor, please.
I literally started this hour by playing Vanga from your album Living the Dream, which is when we spent a couple of days together really having a lot of fun talking about that album and recording it live as well. And if you listen to Vanga and you listen to Signal Jodi that you did with Diljit, there is a distinct sound that people find synonymous to this country on those kind of tracks. And I feel like there's a generation missing out on that. What can we do to kind of bring that back, Shinda Paji?
Well, I'm bringing it back, but the people, they're more kind of Western, which is good, man. It's all good, but when you want to play in weddings and you can't play these Western songs, you got to have the Bhangra beat, man, the dole, everything, to dance to. And that's the identity of Punjabi song, if you ask me, especially the dole. That's my trademark,
Yes.
And even in that rap song or even in my songs, you hear the dole. And what can I say about the Punjabi dole, man? It's just beautiful in any instrument.
We can talk about the toll for days, man. I mean, and also in your tracks, you can hear the clarity on the live playing of it as well, not just sampled beats that have been taken from various CDs. You are the king of toll. I remember watching you play for Ishada years ago, just in the background, playing tabla, kind of, and then suddenly progressing to, obviously, you were already producing hit music for Jazzy B back then, and then daytimers across the UK, watching live bands performing, and then slowly getting to know you a little bit, and then moving into vocalizing your own albums as well. Where are you in terms of the singles and the album game? You did send me a message saying that you've got an album releasing soon. Are you still in the world of making albums?
Yeah, I got an album, but you see, no one buys CDs now, so it's that kind of position. You want to release it as singles, I'm going to release it as an album. I'm still working on that, but I got a lot of songs ready, and the thing I miss about the CDs and the albums is the variation you could give in the music and singing, When you only got one song now, obviously your main income's going to be from shows,
Yeah.
And so you want to do a Bhangra song, that thing. But in an album, it wasn't that kind of thing. You got 10 Bhangra, you got a slow ballad, you got a Qawwali, Sufi style, you can have a hip-hop track, anything. It was a variation you could give, And I think a lot of people miss that as well when they speak to me, and they're emailing and say, we missed that time with the CDs, but it is what it is, You got to go with the times. And
it is what it is. I mean, fortunate for you have been able in a period of time where people were buying physical albums to become synonymous with the sound. But young artists now, people don't know what they're capable of because one song comes out at a time and you can't kind of listen to their songs back to back, right? So you don't get to know what their vibe is.
And plus, if they got a few songs, what they're going to do about shows, you need more than that songs, and you need more than 3-4 songs,
Yeah.
So it's taking them time, and maybe in the albums, you didn't even do videos for all the songs. People used to memorize the songs. They used to look at the covers,
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm lucky I come in the CD area. I can think for 4 hours now. I got a lot of songs. People know them. But for new artists, that's why they got to keep on releasing so much songs, every month.
Every week, buddy. Every week.
Yeah,
people are releasing songs weekly.
In just 3-4 days, that's it, man. It's gone.
The days of reading the inside of the album cover, who played what, who collaborated with who played the Algozi, who played the Dawn on this track, who wrote this song, all those kind of things. They were great days, and I relived them here on the show a lot, and I throw it back to the kind of 90s and 2000s a lot. But let's talk about the future. We've talked a lot about the past and recreating that, but let's talk about what's in the pipeline for you. You've mentioned that you might release an album. Are you collaborating with people? Can we hear some names? Can you give me an exclusive?
No, I can't really give it. It's going to be my solo album first, and then the next collaboration I'm working on that.
Wicked. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, and there's one song I'm going to give you one name, Raj Ghai. There's one song with him again.
Oh, you have just made my year. It's only February. I'll tell you why, because I think Gumshum Gumshum is probably one of the finest produced tracks vocally, but also musically. The video went with it beautifully. There was something really magical about you producing a song that we didn't necessarily expect to collaborate with, but also a sound that we didn't know that Qawwali was obviously something that we know musically and classically trained that you are, but we'd never thought that you would release a track that sounds so beautifully kind of engaging, that isn't a dance floor track.
And I thanks Raj Khan and Movie Box and Sister for.
Yeah.
When I remember when that song was made, Raj Khan really loved it.
Yeah.
And he says, "Bahut acha kaam kiya bhai." Bahut acha. So that's a very big thing, from a great artist.
Yes. And so we can expect to hear Rahat Saab on Collaborations 4. I've got a question for you, Paji. What about Sukshinder Shinda and Satinder Sartaaj together?
That could work as well. But everyone busy for acha artist, and there'll be some new things as well,
Good.
On there as well, definitely.
I cannot wait. I mean, look, your album is going to be amazing. Just to kind of relive that sound again, back to back. With how many tracks are we expecting on the first album?
8 tracks,
8 tracks, and then we've got Collaborations 4 coming. You've treated us with this track by Popsy Music. It feels like there's a really nice buzzy time back in the UK again for that kind of Punjabi Bhangra sound that was born here.
We want to bring that back. I'm a new trying and everyone. So I'd just like to say to everyone, support Popsy Music because it's released on his own label,
Yeah.
So all the help people, in viewing the videos and everything, and obviously you know how it is. It's a slow process when you got your own channel. You need a lot of stuff on it. So if people showing you love, then you keep going,
I got a great message from Popsy saying, "Long time, bro. Here's my number. Give me a call." So I'm going to get him on the show in the coming weeks as well. Shinda Baji, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with me. Promise
Thank
me
you.
something that we're going to sit down together in the studio and spend a whole hour.
Yeah.
We'll play some
Anytime, no
music.
problem.
We'll have a chat when you come to London.
Yeah.
It'll be wicked. Big sasikal to you. Thank you so much. Congratulations on all the success and long may it continue. I'm about to play your brand new single. Do you want to introduce it for us, please?
Yeah, it's brand music by Popsy, the Music Machine. I just want to thank all the listeners, Sunrise and yourself. God bless everyone.
Join Ameet Chana every Saturday from 4 p.m. for the Bhangra Showdown, playing you the finest in Punjabi and Bhangra music from the past, present and future.
The UK's biggest station mix. Sunrise Radio.
Hello, this is Sonia from Drive Time. I'm on your radio from 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Welcome to this week's podcast episode. The month of February is synonymous with love, romance, and the act of showering your loved ones with gifts. The price tag on a gift is often seen to reflect the heights of the giver's appreciation of the receiver. And we can debate on the topic of how important or not material stuff is in a relationship all day long until the cows come home. But I think there are a few things that should probably be considered before the money aspect in a relationship. Financial stability can without a doubt make a huge difference to any relationship, but how money challenges are dealt with between two people will depend on their compatibility in what I call the basic ingredients to a good relationship. If you don't work on these steps first, then it's clear that you're either inexperienced in relationships or not really that bothered about making it a long-term thing which serves the both of you. Maybe you just have more money than, let's just say more money than you need or care for. And I guess that's fair enough as long as you're not knowingly causing grief or pain to others. But most people are not in such a privileged position, so they need to think carefully about what or who they're getting into. I have a short list of things which I consider to be key in any relationship. Things that I think help to build a solid foundation, one that can act as glue of sorts, keeping the relationship together for longer and for the right reasons. I'm sure most people find it helpful to know who they're in a relationship with. Unless you're a catfish, you'll understand the importance of honesty and transparency in a relationship. How many people wear an invisible mask even when you can see them stood right in front of you, clear as day? And what I mean by this is that they are not their true self, almost like they're living in some sort of character mode. Their behavior, their actions, the way they speak or react and respond may not necessarily be who they really are, but based on either what they think some other people might want to see of them, or they're basing themselves on someone who they wish that they could be. Now, if being this way does something amazing for you and your partner is aware that it isn't the real you, but is okay with it too, then sure, go ahead, whatever floats your boat. But if your partner is not aware, then be warned that sooner or later, that boat will sink. So the boat will sink if A, you're misleading your partner by being in ways that you think they like you to be, but this is not the real you and they don't know it, or by being in ways that some other people think you should be, like close friends and family. Or you're living in some sort of character mode which makes you feel better about yourself, but isn't your true self. Did you know that the last one on that list says a lot about how comfortable or not you are in your own skin? And if you're so uncomfortable in your own skin that you're literally living in character every day, then there could be a serious problem. You may be trying to cover up parts of who you are which you don't like, and the likelihood is that if you don't like these things about yourself, they're connected to experiences that were unpleasant and you haven't healed from. And if there are parts of you that still need healing, the chances are that you'll be attracting and bringing into your circle other people who are still hurting, still carrying baggage from the past, and still need healing before they can give openly to a new relationship. As you can probably see, from this one area that still needs healing, many other problems can, and most likely will at some point in the future, reveal themselves. If the way you are in a relationship is molded by anyone else than the people in the relationship, then the chances of its survival are about as likely as a tomato in sub-zero temperatures. Before you know it, it will become scarred, defeated, and curl up and die. Trust me, I know enough couples who are quite happy together. Whatever it is they're doing works for them, and they've accepted each other's little flaws. They're happy to make small compromises along the way, which is what relationships are all about, and to work on any flaws if need be, because the flaws are minor compared to what that person brings to the relationship. And the prospect of losing that person altogether over something so minor just isn't an option. But some others seem to see it as a bigger issue than it is to the ones actually in the relationship. Some people do it because they care an awful lot about someone in that relationship. And some do it because they care an awful lot about making everybody else's business their business. Choose carefully who you're listening to and taking advice from, because very soon the attempts to influence you and sway you will begin. It could be true that they do this out of love and concern for you, but ultimately it's for you to assess how you truly feel. Consider these things. Does being in this relationship feel good to you, or does it feel like a burden? When you're not together, do you spend the most part of the day looking forward to hearing from the other person and smile when they get in touch? Or do you feel a sense of relief when you have time apart and hesitate to even answer their call or open their message? Is there clarity in your relationship or confusion? Do you daydream about going into the future with this person, or do you spend more time worrying about how you might cope? I know it's not always so easy to do, but if it doesn't feel good, then respectfully let it go. But if it does feel good, then respectfully let the others go. And by that, I don't mean break all ties with them or vow to never have anything to do with them again. I mean be clear to them that you intend to go ahead and do what you feel is right for you right now. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. What's the worst thing that can happen? You learn from the experience, right? And as they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And a lot of us are much stronger than we think. We've all got it in us to deal with some of the biggest challenges. But I think a lot of the time, it all comes down to how much you've trained yourself to deal with these things before the challenges appear, and the people that you surround yourself with. It's so important to go with your gut, your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Whether that something is other people interfering in what should be your personal space, or whether it's the person you're in the relationship with, learn how to listen to your intuition and then follow it, because it will never lie to you. Right from the start of your relationship, be who you really are, not who you think other people think you should be. To build a mutually respected relationship, the people in a relationship should be the only people in the relationship. You see, no matter how good of an actor you consider yourself to be, the real you will emerge at some point sooner or later. And when it does, it could be the end of your relationship before it's even had a chance to begin. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and thank you so much for listening. Remember, be yourself always, or the fake you will soon come crumbling down on you. Stay well, and I'll catch you next time.
The lady with an infectious laugh. You know who it is. Sonia Dutta, Monday to Friday, between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. to keep you smiling.
The UK's biggest Asian mix. Sunrise Radio.
It is time for the Couples Challenge. Here we go.
It's time for the couples game. How well do you know your partner?
How well do you know your partner? Indeed. Right, this is the challenge, and I would like to welcome today's couple. It is Keval and Shital. How are you guys? How are you? You keeping well?
Yes, good. We're good. I'm well, Mom. How are you keeping?
Very, very well indeed. I just want to say thank you. I hope you didn't feel like I roped you guys into this, by the way. I just wanted to say.
We did. It was more Shaylee than you, really, Amen.
That's what we love to hear. Well done, Shaylee. Anyway, so welcome to the Couples Challenge. I'll explain everything in a second. But before I do, I'd love to just hear a bit about you guys. How long have you been married? How long have you been together? How did you meet? You know, tell us the big romantic story.
Really?
The short version.
Yeah. We met. We met a year after Millennium. She swept me off my feet, and 20 years later, here we are. We got married in 2003, Amit.
Oh, nice. So, Kev, she wooed you, yeah? She did. She made all the moves, trying to win you over.
Don't believe a word he says.
And you were the catch. No, I believe Kev all the way. I'm sorry. All right, welcome.
I'll give you the long version one day.
Oh, please. I want to hear all about it, definitely. All right, so before we start, I just wanted to say, of course, that at some point in the future, you guys can come back and do a return battle as well. So we're going to do it one way this way. I'll explain how it all works in just a second. But it's all just about a bit of fun of how well you know your partner. Oh, before we go any further as well, one last question I just wanted to ask you guys. You've been married, you've been together for over 20 years. What's the secret to a healthy relationship if we go any further?
Keep each other smiling.
Keep each other smiling. I like that one. I like that. And would you say you both got kind of like the same level type of humour, a weird sense of humour, unique to you guys?
Probably. Definitely, yeah.
I could just imagine you two looking at each other really blank in that moment. All right, so let me just explain the rules very quickly. So I'm going to ask one of you to leave the room in just a moment, and the other partner that stays in the room, I'm going to be asking you 5 questions about you. When we're done, we'll get the other partner back in the room, and that partner has to try and guess their partner's answers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I need to ask a question. Who's got the easy part and is going to be staying in the room with me to answer the 5 questions first?
Me.
Brilliant. Okay, so you've got the easy job. That means, Kevo, we're going to send you out of the room, and it's your job to make sure that he can't hear you when he's left the room. Okay, so you tell me when he's out of the room and he cannot hear you.
See you later.
All right. Okay. Cool. Are we good?
He's gone.
Sweet, lovely, jubbly. Right. So 5 very simple questions for you, and we're going to do this right now. So, tell me first. First question: what is your favourite choice of naughty food or go-to snack? You know when you just have to have a nibble on something, except your husband, of course.
Chocolate, probably.
And any kind of particular kind of chocolate as well to make it a little bit harder.
Snickers.
All right, so you think it's a Snickers for you. Okay, right, no worries. Good choice, by the way. Question number 2. What is a bad habit that you have that your partner absolutely hates?
I don't think I have any bad habits.
That's what they all say. Come on, could be something like I mean, just the obvious things, right? Could be like nagging, or that you always you put the toilet roll on the holder the wrong way. You know, that kind of thing.
I'm always cleaning. I'm a bit OCD about cleaning.
OCD about cleaning. Like, do you like if he's sitting there with his feet up watching the TV? Do you kind of like vacuum under his legs, kind of thing?
Yeah, I like to keep a nice, clean, tidy house.
Ah, lovely. I bet it's all the more harder with the dog there as well, though, right?
It is.
All right, question number 3. Say one thing on your bucket list that you've always wanted to do, you haven't done yet, and it could be anything like swimming with sharks, skydiving, absolutely anything at all. What's on your bucket list that you would like to do very soon?
Probably go to South America and do the Aztec trail.
Oh, the Aztec Trail, of course. I think that's a big one for a lot of people, isn't it? I love that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. No worries. Machu Picchu and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Question number 4. What would you say is the best holiday that you and Kevin have been on together?
Probably our honeymoon.
And where was that? What was the location?
So we went to quite a few places. We went to the Maldives. We went to Dubai. We went to Thailand and Vietnam.
Nice. Okay, cool. No worries. All right, so that's question 4. Last but not least, what is a favourite movie of yours that you have seen loads and loads of times that you could like watch again and again and again? And it could be anything, Hollywood, Bollywood, or otherwise.
Probably Shawshank.
Oh my God, you are a woman of good taste, I tell you. What a great film. For anyone who has not seen that movie, please make sure you watch it. It's just such a good film, isn't
So
it?
good. Yeah,
Alrighty,
yeah.
cool. No, so that's all 5 questions. You did really well there, by the way. So now, obviously, Kevil has the hard part. So whenever you're ready, give him a call into the room and let's see how well he knows you, right? And while you're doing that, I'm just going to let the listeners know that, of course, if you ever want to take part in the Couples Challenge, just drop me a WhatsApp during the show and I can get you and your partner on and we can just do this for a little bit of fun. All right, so Shindle, tell me when Kevil is there and ready to go.
He's just coming into the room now.
Brilliant. Well, he's just coming on the air, by the way, you two have 2 lovely children, right? Shaylee and Anne?
Yep.
Are they listening in right now?
They are. They're listening in the other room.
Ah, nice. Hi, Shaylee. Hi, Anne. Welcome. And, of course, to your dog, Obi. Obi, sit. Sit, Obi. Stand. Roll over, Obi. Roll over.
Obi's in bed, man.
Oh, is he? He's not anymore. He's like, woof. What's going on? Roll? Right, okay, cool. So welcome back, Kevil. It's good to have you on. Right, so I've asked Shindle 5 questions about herself. I'm going to ask you the same 5 questions and you've got to try and guess what she answered, okay? So here we go. Question number 1. I asked Shindle to name me her favourite choice of like naughty go-to food or snack, you know, something she just, you know, that's her naughty indulgence. What do you think she said?
Chole bhatura.
Chole bhatura, yeah. I very much doubt that, but is that what you genuinely think?
Or chocolate.
All right, chocolate. I was going to say that sounds a bit more reasonable, I think, as well. And just out of curiosity, do you think there's any particular chocolate in that, you know, is her favourite?
Halma.
Oh no! Okay, cool.
We really know each other well, don't we?
Yeah, we're going to reveal, but don't say anything yet. We're going to reveal the answers at the end, all right? So you think...
All right.
All right, Kevil thinks it's whole nut. Question number 2. I asked Shindle to name a bad habit that she has which annoys the heck out of you. So what is the bad habit that she has that annoys you?
How many can I say?
As many as you want. No, the main one that annoys you.
Obsessive cleanliness.
Okay, cool. So OCD in cleaning or something like that, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
Alrighty, no worries. Okay, cool. Question number 3. I asked Shindle to tell me one thing that's on her bucket list. And it could have been anything. It could have been like, you know, like shark cage diving, skydiving, or, you know, a particular destination. But I just asked her to tell me one thing that's at the top of her bucket list. What do you think she said?
I'd say South America.
Okay.
Well done.
Shh. Don't tell him yet. Don't tell him yet.
Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry. Question number 4. Let's keep him in suspense a bit longer. Like make him sweat a bit, Shindle. You're a terrible wife.
Sorry.
Make it hard for him. Question number 4. What is the best holiday that you two have been on so far? What do you think she said? I asked her that question. What do you think she said?
Maldives.
It could very well have been. Was it Maldives on its own, or was it a particular occasion or anything?
It was our honeymoon.
Honeymoon, alrighty, lovely. And last but not least, I asked Shindle to tell me one of her favourite all-time movies that she's seen loads of times and she could watch again and again and again. What do you think she said?
Dilwale Dulhania.
Ah, interesting. And by the way, just to clarify, it could have been anything Hollywood or Bollywood. Do you change your answer? You staying with that?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, cool. Right. So, 5 questions, all done. Just give me a moment to do the complex calculations and tot up the scores. But while I do that, just a question, how well do you think you did?
Probably really rubbish, apart from South America.
All right.
She changes her mind on a weekly basis, so, you know, cut me some slack.
This is obviously, ladies and gentlemen, this is obviously an example of a well-functioning couple right here. Right, let me just do the calculations and do my very high-tech, complex, state-of-the-art drum roll on the desk here. You scored, are you ready for it? 3.5 out of 5. Woo! Not bad, I think. That's pretty good going.
I'll take that.
For 20 years of marriage almost, that is not bad at all. Normally, the longer you've been married, the worse the score gets. No, you guys scored 3.5 out of 5. Let me tell you where you got the answers right, wrong, etc. So question 1, you mentioned chocolate. She said chocolate, and I asked the specific one. She said Snickers. You said whole nut. So you get half a mark for that one. And question 2. The bad habit, cleaning, absolutely spot on. She said the same thing as well. Question number 3, I asked about the bucket list. She mentioned South America. You got the answer right. Absolutely. She wants to do the South America Aztec Trail and all that. Question 4, honeymoon. You said honeymoon as well. So that's 3.5 out of 5. It was the last one that you got wrong. The favourite movie. Maybe she was just trying to act cool and, like really, really like hip and sophisticated. But
Okay, let me ask him on it.
Yeah.
What's my favourite Hollywood film?
Hollywood?
Yeah, I know. Not just Hollywood.
Hollywood would be Shawshank.
Yeah, that's the one. So, I did say that though. I did say that it could have been Hollywood, Bollywood, or otherwise.
You did.
So you said Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, and I'm sure they're probably relatively on par. But she went with Shawshank, tipping it slightly. So that's why you get 3.5 out of 5.
It's one of my favourites as well.
Oh, you've both got very good taste. You both raised yourself in my eyes now as well. So, no, well done to you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. That was huge fun. Did you have a good time?
We did. Thank you on that.
If you could give a message to all the lovely couples out there who are feeling a bit hesitant on taking the couples challenge, what would you say to them?
Don't do it.
I love it. That's brilliant. No, don't say that.
Thanks for having us, man.
No, thank you on that.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on, I have to say as well. And to anyone, like I said, out there, thank you. But, if you want to take part, like they said, it's just a bit of fun and you will enjoy yourselves. Once again, stay on the line with me, you two, by the way. Don't go anywhere. But to everyone else out there, if you want to take on the couples challenge, you know what you got to do.
Want to take part in the couples game? Message the studio now on 07925 700 272. Let's see how well you know your partner.
Let's see how well you know your partner indeed. It's the Love Lounge with me, Amit Sodha, the Love Doctor.
Catch our love guru, Amit Sodha, between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. every Sunday for that chill out zone.